Hi, St. Mark's. I'm Jennifer Thompkins from Tucson Refugee Ministry, and we're so excited that we get to serve refugees right here in Tucson. As you can imagine, there are lots and lots of new refugees coming in. If you've watched the news at all, you've seen what's happened in Afghanistan and Ukraine. Less in the news is Myanmar and things that are happening in Africa, like the DRC, or things that are happening in Central America, in Guatemala and Nicaragua. There's just so much happening in our world right now. We have 1 out of 95 people in the planet right now that are displaced. That is about 86 million people that are displaced in the world today. And of those 86 million, 26 million of them are vetted to be refugees. And that means that they could be resettled into another area. So those vetted refugees that are vetted from the UN make their way into different countries. And this year in the United States, our government has promised to let in so many new refugees. We actually have resettled more in the last 5 months than we have in the last 4 years. We've had lots and lots of new Afghan arrivals and are awaiting a lot of new arrivals from the Ukraine. We also have refugees that have been here in Tucson for many years. It's estimated that we have about 10,000 refugees living here in Tucson. So we have refugees that are from Syria, refugees from the Congo, refugees from lots of different areas. Those refugees are invited in by our government to be able to resettle here and make their lives here, so where they can live in safety and not have to run from their homes or run from regimes that are after them. And we at Tucson Refugee Ministry partner with the resettlement agencies to help those refugees to feel more at home. And so some of the things that we do along those lines is that we offer things like social groups for men and women and teens and children. We go in and we do lots of Bible stories, and we bring snacks and we play games and we get to know the kids better. We have a large summer camp in the summer where it's like a contextualized VBS. Most of our refugees coming in are not Christian background. Most of them are coming in are Muslim background. And so we are introducing them to know more about Jesus, to know more about who he is, and planting seeds and telling the gospel to so many of our groups. We have a trauma group where we address some of the issues of having to run, having to witness family members being killed, having to lose their home and their homeland into, an additional traumas to come to a place where you don't know the language or the culture. And so it's we address those in our trauma groups. We also help with practical needs like finding a job or finding a better job, being able to learn how to drive in this country. We help with practical needs like baby showers, where we get to come alongside a new mama who doesn't have any friends or family in the United States in this time where you should be celebrating a new birth. And they just desperately want some other women around them to help and to celebrate and to love on them. We also do lots and lots of things with youth. We meet with probably 150 youth each week between our elementary age and our teenage youth, and are always in need of people who are willing to come and hang out with our youth. Or if you don't love youth, if you're willing to drive, if you're willing to be a driver, to be able to come to those youth activities. We're so excited that in the last couple months, we've actually been able to create a community center. This community center is in the O5 neighborhood, so really close to Amphi High and Amphi Middle, where most of our refugees are living. This is where some of the least expensive housing is in Tucson, but it's also one of the hardest hit areas. So we're seeking to reach out not only to the refugees in the O5, but also in that Amphi neighborhood, reaching out to the people and kids there that desperately need to know the love of Jesus. We would love, love, love if you would be able to join us in that. There's so many different opportunities to volunteer, and there's really 3 different ways that you could support us at Tucson Refugee Ministry. The first is prayer. We definitely need prayer for what we're doing. Of course, the enemy wouldn't want us to be witnessing and telling people about the love and freedom that they could have with Jesus. So please pray for our team. Please pray for all of our volunteers, and definitely pray for our refugees that they would be able to know Jesus. Also, the next one is that you could donate. We definitely are a nonprofit that is supported by churches here in Tucson, and as we grow, we definitely would value your kingdom investments in Tucson Refugee Ministry. And the last is to volunteer, and we're excited that we'll be able to do a 101 right there at St. Mark's for you. And so please go and sign up today to be able to volunteer to know more, or even if you just want to know more and want to go through the training, we'd love to be able to talk with you about that. We're really excited for how you are going to be reaching out and loving on the refugees right here in Tucson.